Hey everyone, Josh, JE, Vintage Honda Minis, Orlando, Florida. This is the next video I'm doing on this Z50 Army build. I've had a little time in between last time I touched it, but not too much left to do. I'm gonna get the wheels built. I gotta do the engine, which is gonna start now, and just some odds and ends on the bike, to be honest. I do have a video already for the wheel sets, how to build those, so I'll link down so you can follow in-depth tutorial on building these Z50 rim sets with the hubs. Save you the time in this video. So we'll start tackling all these leftover parts and pieces. Alright, so we got the wheels put together here, so we're gonna start mounting those on to the bike. I'm gonna get the handlebar, the controls, and the throttle assembly installed. So everything looks really good. The bolts are retaining the paint on it. I'm being very gentle. I'm putting some like cellophane over them before I put the socket, and then gently torquing them down. I'm going to switch my focus from the frame to the engine. I'm going to start putting this engine back together. It's been all cleaned up. So I'm just about done assembling this 78 Z50 engine for the Army build. But I ran into, like, I was going to set my cam timing here, my valve train timing, and I had my usual bolts. These are M5s by 0.8 pitch, thread pitch, and then the cam sprocket. Well, all the bolts that I had, none of them, all the M5 by 0.8 pitch would not thread in here. They go a few threads and then stop. So I ran up to Lowe's, grabbed another set of bolts, and did some research online. I have a die set that is an M5 by 0.8 and an M5 by 0.9. So I just rethreaded a screw, and it screws in. So interesting thing is I've never had that happen, and just doing some research, they kind of discontinued using that pitch for the M5 bolts back in the early 60s, and the Japanese just started using the 0.8 as the standard. So I don't know what's up with this cam. It's kind of a unique cam, I guess. I don't know what production it was ran in, but this is a 1978, which is obviously an older engine. I don't have any history on the cam itself, but it has the 0.9 thread pitch in it. Alright guys, one quick tip, especially since this bike is powder coated on pretty much every component, gonna sand off or grind off the powder coat at these parts of the handlebars that are going to hook into the handlebar mounts. So I got those back down to bare metal, and the reason I'm doing this is to create continuity for the switches to work. They need to ground out, so I need to be able to get this to ground the frame. So we'll do this area, and then we'll clean up the bar mounts, which I'll show you. So the triple tree chop plate, I ground off some of the powder here that's going to go on the yoke or the stem. Under here's some mounts for this handlebar cast piece, so I'm going to grind here where these bolts come through to help conduct the current through the handlebar, through the mount, into the top plate, and then it's going to hit the steering yoke, and it hits the bearings and the race touches the inner parts of the frame. So that way we're going to get good continuity through this area, and the powder coat is not conductive, so if you don't do this, you're going to have a no grounding situation. Then up here, this was blacked off, so I got this ground off, and these actual springs inside touch enough of the interior frame, even though there's grease in there, so that's another area of contact. Can never have enough good points of grounding. So once you got kind of everything set up and reassembled, use a continuity setting on a voltmeter, and just touch one of the leads to the handlebar and one to the engine. And test for continuity. to make sure what you've done is sufficient. So I'm getting good continuity through the handlebars into the engine area, so I'm going to continue to tighten up all my bolts. Alright guys, I'm almost done with the bike. Just got to get the wires connected in the bucket, put the headlight on. I'm going to work on doing I think I'm going to go with the Z50R black airbox. That'll look cool. The only thing that's holding me back at this point is the front sprocket that was sent to me. Screw alignment with the safety clip. The splines are all aligned when it's bolted up, so that's not how it should be. So it can just slide right off on the output shaft. So I need to get a new sprocket, which should be here in a few days. The decals have showed up. I have to do a spray on the side cover because it was kind of too small for the vinyl based on the supplier. So he gave me a whatever you call it, an option to do the spray. So he cut them out, and then I'm going to use some paint to spray on the what you see right there. And then I got a bunch of these guys that came in. These are all going to go on the side of the tank, and some more stuff that goes on the fenders itself. But as you can see, the bike is coming along pretty cool. Alright, so breaking in the motor, it's running really well right now. It's gone through one heat cycle, and then I just set the timing on it, so it's nice, and timing's really nice right now. It's idling really good. Just gonna let it run a little while like this, and get this bike out on the road and take it for a spin. Alright, so this is going to make a wrap on this Army bike. Everything has been gone through. Engine runs great. Got all the final touches on it. So let's just do a little walk around and take a look at the kind of like the details. So it's a standard 3-speed Z50 engine. Nothing modified on the internals or the top end or anything. We got a Army green powder coat. These stickers are kind of a flat matte black decals. I did my best to black out as much hardware as possible within reason. Really the only zinc hardware is kind of on the engine and the case in certain areas. Otherwise I've gone through and blacked out as much as I possibly can. I guess we do got a little bit of the chrome buttons. I didn't think it was worth trying to black those out in case something happened. So I kept the chrome buttons on the seat. Oh, custom details here from the owner of the bike. These have meaning to him. And these actual Bridgestone trail wing here, these things have been out of stock. I got lucky. I guess I bought them right before they all went out of stock. I think they are pretty much out of stock everywhere for these 8-inch Z50 rims. Oh yeah, and then the final flag detail on the back here. But yeah, I like it, man. It's pretty cool. I'm happy I got to do this one because it broke up the mix here of doing the OEM restorations. I was able, you know, obviously get creative with the owner a little bit and pick some different colors and decals and stuff. So still got the Honda reliability, but a custom unique touch. Alright guys, please subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this build process. Like always, more stuff to come.